All right, let's talk about one of the biggest hurdles for any English learner. It's moving beyond just knowing the words to actually thinking in the language. Today, we're going to show you how to break that translation habit for good. Does this sound familiar? You know the grammar rules, you've got a decent vocabulary, but every single time you want to say something, your brain just goes into overdrive, right? It's translating everything from your native language first, it's slow, it's clunky, and honestly, it's just exhausting. There's a name for that feeling. Let's call it the translation wall. It's this invisible barrier that makes real effortless fluency feel like it's always just one step away, even if you've been studying for years. So here's our game plan. We're going to give you the tools to smash right through that wall. First, we'll look at the wall itself. Then we'll train that voice inside your head. Build an English world around you. Get into some super simple daily drills. And finally, talk about the amazing freedom that's waiting on the other side. Okay, so let's start with this wall. Why does fluency feel so impossible sometimes? Well, the problem probably isn't what you think it is. We spend all this time practicing the outputs, reading, writing, speaking, but we totally forget to train the main computer, our brain. It needs to learn how to run the software directly in English. Thinking is its own skill, and just like shooting a basketball or playing an instrument, you have to practice it. So how in the world do you practice thinking? Well, you start with that conversation that's already happening 24/7, the one inside your own head. It's time to teach your inner voice a new language. This sounds almost too simple, but trust me, it's incredibly powerful. Just start narrating your own life, but in English. When you get out of bed, think, I need to brush my teeth. When you're on the bus, think, that car is moving fast. It'll feel a little weird at first, maybe even a bit slow, but if you stick with it, your brain will start doing it automatically. And here's the absolute best part about this. There's no pressure. You don't have to worry about making mistakes. So many of us get frozen because we're afraid of saying something wrong. But guess what? Your mind is a totally judgment-free zone. It is the perfect, safe playground to practice and build that habit without anyone listening in. Okay, once you get that inner voice training started, the next step is to make your outside world match your inside world. Let's talk about building an immersive English environment that's going to turbocharge your progress. Think of your brain like a sponge. The more English you surround it with, the more it just soaks up. And these are all super simple changes you can make, like today. Switch your phone language to English. Pop on an English podcast during your commute. Write your grocery list in English. Every little bit adds up. And hey, let's be clear about the goal here. It's not about understanding 100% of everything you hear. Not at all. It's about getting your brain comfortable with the music of the language, the rhythm, the natural flow, the way sentences are structured. This kind of passive listening is what makes producing those sounds yourself feel so much more natural later on. All right, your environment is now set up for success. Let's open up the toolbox and look at a few powerful daily drills that will really speed this whole process up. One of the biggest habits to build is thinking directly and simply. Instead of building this long, complex, perfectly grammatical sentence in your head and then translating it, just go for shorter, punchier English phrases. Look at this example. It's about going from this tangled up, translated thought to something clean and direct. It's way faster and sounds so much more natural. So here are 4 easy drills for your toolkit. First, the naming game. Seriously, just look around your room right now and name things in English. Desk, chair, lamp. It builds that instant recall. Second, mental rehearsal. Got to order a coffee later? Practice the whole conversation in your head first. Third, switch to an English-only dictionary. This is huge. It forces your brain to stay in the English loop. And finally, the evening recap. Just take 2 minutes before you fall asleep to summarize your day in simple English. It's an amazing way to connect your real life to the language. Now this is a real game changer. To truly break the translation habit, you have to build a direct connection between an English word and its meaning. So when you learn the word apple, don't connect it to the word for apple in your native language. Connect it to the image of a red, crunchy apple, to the taste of it, to the idea of it. This lets you bypass that translation step completely. So, why are we doing all this? What's the big reward for all this effort? Well, it's huge. Because it's not just about speaking better English, it's about changing the way you experience the world through the language. When you finally stop translating, you unlock your real speed. Conversations just flow. You'll start catching little jokes and nuances in movies that you missed before. And maybe most importantly, that feeling of hesitation, of always searching for the right word, it just disappears. It gets replaced by this genuine, deep confidence. You're not just finding words anymore, you're just talking. Ultimately, it all boils down to this one shift in your mindset. English stops being some academic subject that you study for a test. It becomes a part of how you live your life. It's the tool you use to think, to dream, to plan, and to express who you really are. And that's where it all starts. Not with some grand, complicated plan, but with one single, tiny thought. So I'll leave you with a question. As soon as this is over, what's your first thought in English going to be?